So Spider-Man 2, that is a game in which I'm just really excited for it to be released on a PC on January 30th, 2025. Yes, but with that out of the way, will it be playable on a Steam Deck? Today I'll share my thoughts about whether or not I think the Steam Deck will be able to run Spider-Man 2, as well as give the bits and pieces on what to expect with Spider-Man 2. Let's check it out. So as far as Spider-Man 2 goes, it is a PS5 only exclusive game, which means that it utilizes the power of the PS5 as well as the new tech of the PS5, and with the Steam Deck being less powerful than the PS5, then running Spider-Man 2 on the deck could be a challenge. That is at least in the hardware side of things, the capabilities of the Steam Deck. But as far as the software goes, there is chance that it will be able to run on the Steam Deck, because Spider-Man 2 is going to be ported to the PC via Nixxes Software. In case you don't know what Nixxes Software is acquired by Sony, and their main job is to port those Sony exclusives. Some of the notable things in which Nixxes Software ported to the PC is obviously these other Spider-Man games. I mean, Spider-Man 2018, as well as Spider-Man Morales, as well as they also ported the Horizon games, Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, and Ghost of Tsushima, just to name a few. So with Spider-Man 2 being ported by Nixxes Soft and those games that I mentioned, and them all running on the Steam Deck, they all work and play well on the Steam Deck, then there is a chance that for the software side of things, Spider-Man 2 will be able to run on the Steam Deck no problem. Or even if there is some tiny problems, some tinkerings, will be able to make it to run properly, where you'll be able to experience the game fully. Now, as far as how well it will run on the Steam Deck, probably not too well. If we're looking at those recent release games that are really high powered, such as Hellblade 2 and Black Myth Wukong, I mean, those games, even though they do run on the Steam Deck, but there are some compromises that you have to make. There are some settings you have to do in order for the Steam Deck to be able to run it properly, in order for it to not crash, and all these different things. I mean, there are these requirements that need to be made in order for the game to be able to run. They still run, but at the same time, you will not be able to play it to its best specs, to experience the graphics fidelity to its fullest. But if you just want to be able to play it on the Steam Deck, then you can play it. So that's the thing about Spider-Man 2. Since Spider-Man 2 is going to be a new game that's going to be ported to the PC, I mean, Spider-Man 2 was released back in 2023 on the PlayStation 5, and it was something that utilized the new technology in the sense that it is not a cross-gen game, a game where it is both on the PS5 and PS4. So most likely, with the technology side with things, and with Hellblade 2 and Black Myth Wukong also considered knife-gen console games, most likely I will say Spider-Man 2 will be able to run on the Steam Deck. But as far as how well it will run, probably not too well. But regardless of what it is, regardless if the Steam Deck will be able to run Spider-Man 2, the biggest issue that I have to address, and that is the most dreadful thing, is the PSN requirement. I know nobody loves to talk about this, and everybody wishes that the PSN requirement just disappears, because that is just stupid, because you are playing the game on PC and you have no interest whatsoever to play on the Sony platforms. I get it, okay? I get it. But with this being said, with the PSN requirement, and where 170 plus countries where they are not able to create a PSN account, not able to access a PSN account because Sony doesn't support those countries for the PSN account, unfortunately, like the other games that recently released, if you live in those countries, too bad. You will not be able to experience Spider-Man 2 due to the PSN requirements. I know that's a shame, but it is what it is. But with that being out of the way, let's dive into the meat of Spider-Man 2. What do you expect to get from the PC version of Spider-Man 2? Alright, so Spider-Man 2, if you were to buy it on the PC, you have two options. You could either get the Digital Deluxe Edition or the Standard Edition. For the Standard Edition, obviously it would just include Marvel Spider-Man 2, the game, the base game, just bare bones, what you expect to get if you were to get it on the PS5. The exact same thing with the updates and whatnot. But if you were to go with the Digital Deluxe Edition, it will include the base game Marvel Spider-Man 2, Arknight suit early unlock for Peter with 3 color variants, Shadow Spider suit early unlock for Miles with 3 color variants, Web Grappler gadget early unlock, 10 exclusive suits for Peter and Miles 5 each, additional photo mode items, and a whooping 5 skill points. There's also a pre-purchase offer, as you can see, where you'll receive Arknight suit early unlock for Peter with 3 color variants, a Shadow Spider suit early unlock for Miles with 3 color variants, Web Grappler gadget early unlock, and 3 skill points. So yeah, these are the things that you need to know as far as the way how you should buy the games on the PC. Now, as far as what to expect gameplay-wise in Spider-Man 2, there are a lot of things that I gotta cover. The first noble thing that I want to say is teamwork, because teamwork makes the dream work. In Spider-Man 2, you get to play as Peter Parker and Miles Morales, both of them sometimes working together, and there are also some missions where you get to pick between whether or not you want to play as Peter or do you want to play as Miles, as well as there are also some other missions that are exclusive to just Peter or Miles, like you have to play Peter or Miles at certain missions, and other missions you can choose between whether or not to play with Peter or whether or not to play with Miles. And because of this is obviously just a tip that there most likely will be some strategic planning to it, because Peter and Miles, they have 2 separate type of skills. Like, they do have some skills that are mutual, but there are some skills that are exclusive to Peter and some exclusive to Miles. I mean, Peter has his own skill tree where those skills pertain only to Peter, and while there's another skill tree which is for Miles where it is only pertained to Miles. Those skills will only be accessible for Miles, and there is obviously a third skill tree in which it is skills that are mutually for the both of them. And also to keep in mind with these skill trees is that whenever you score a skill point, anything you try to upgrade will work towards the skill points. There is no separate skill points for Miles, as well as there's no separate skill points for Peter. So that is something to also keep in mind as to how you want to use your skill point. You got to use your skill point to your fullest advantage strategically, as well as use it really wisely. Now, as far as gameplay style goes, as far as the combat side of things, there are also some notable things to take note of. The first thing that I want to address is that Peter and Miles, they each can equip 4 different skills, as well as there is also this interesting thing in Spider-Man 2 that there is this what I call color codes, where the specific icons, they kind of give you the hint on what you need to do to avoid damage. For instance, if an enemy has this yellow circular icon on the top, that means that for this kind of enemy, the best bet to fight that enemy, you have to either parry or jump over them. You cannot dodge because their attacks are very evasive, in which they will cover a lot of space. Therefore, if you dodge, it will not turn out well with you. You will most likely lose a whole bunch of health, kind of suffer a lot of damages. As well as if it has a blue circle on the top of the enemy, it means that the enemy is about to attack, where it cannot be blocked, it cannot be parried, and it can only be avoided if you dodge. So yeah, this is something that is really interesting, that I'm really thankful that Insomniac Studios, they added these kind of features, these unique cases in these enemies traits, where it's not a really button mashing game like Spider-Man 2018 and Spider-Man Miles Morales. You could potentially button mash, dodge, do whatever and get away with it. No, for Spider-Man 2, as far as the combat style goes, there is already these fundamentals that are really important for you to learn to do and to master in order to take down these different enemies to your advantage. Now, as far as traversing goes, in Spider-Man 2, we will be introduced to web wings, where you get to glide around the city, and where even though if you glide for a distance, you will start losing altitude. That is kind of expected. But there are also these wind tunnels where if you happen to use your web wings and you happen to glide through those wind tunnels, you will be able to maintain the altitude and traverse in remarkable speeds across different landscapes. And while using those web wings, what's also cool about that is if you are crossing, let's say, a body of water, if you land into the water, you will also be utilizing the surfboard where you get to surf and cruise across the water. It is just really cool and really fun as far as this gameplay. I'm really glad that they add this to your gameplay, because in the past with Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, the one thing that you don't want to do is land in the water, because you will just literally slow down and you will just be swimming and wading. While in this game, even if you happen to fall into the water, sure, it may not be as fast as if you were going through those wind tunnels, but at least you will still be able to cruise around in the water as a surfer. It's just so remarkable that they get to add this type of feature. And another thing that I will have to praise Insomniac Games for is a bigger map. As far as Spider-Man 2 goes, there is the access for Brooklyn as well as the Queensboro in New York. While back in the day with Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, those two older games, you only get to explore Manhattan. So now you will be able to explore so much more. You will have so much more things to do, because now you have two other boroughs, Queens and Brooklyn, on top of just the classic Manhattan. So yeah, really cool. Now as far as Spider-Man 2, the length goes, it takes 17 hours to beat and 29 hours to 100% and get all the achievements. So it is definitely a full-blown game. It is not like Miles Morales, in which it is pretty short, in which a lot of people complain. I personally love Spider-Man Miles Morales, but one of the things is that it is just a bit too short, and I wish it was a bit longer. So Spider-Man 2 is definitely, it's a full-fledged game, and it is more so along the lines of the length of Spider-Man 2018. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see what happens in Spider-Man 2. I mean, I really was engaged heavily in Spider-Man 2018. I love experiencing the story of Peter Parker, as far as him with his personal life, as well as him being a hero, how he balances his life with that. And I was also really touched by Spider-Man Miles Morales. I love Miles' story as far as him navigating his family issues, as far as also trying to stop that virus outbreak and whatnot. I was really excited for both of the games as far as the activities goes, engaging in those different challenges, whether it is a bomb challenge, whether it is the combat challenge, whether it is the stealth challenge, all these different things as far as those different side activities and side quests and all these different stuff. I really loved Spider-Man 2018, and I really loved Spider-Man Miles Morales. I haven't played any of the DLCs yet, but I am also planning to want to play those as well in some time. And so yeah, I'm just really stoked for Spider-Man 2 and where I'm gonna get to experience it with you guys if it's able to play on the Steam Deck. I will be sharing my thoughts later on. I'm planning to try to download that game day one and try to play it and give you guys the thoughts on the overall performance and whatnot. So yeah, I'm just really stoked for it, and I am really stoked to want to see how Miles and Peter, them working together, their relationship as far as a mentor and mentee, or as well as a friendship kind of relation, how that would develop. I'm really excited to see. I know this game already came out. I haven't played it. I don't want to look for spoilers because I'm not that type of person. So yeah, I'm just gonna be really stoked to want to see. Hopefully I'll be able to enjoy it on the Steam Deck. But yeah, are you excited for Spider-Man 2? Do you think it will work on the Steam Deck? What are you excited most about Spider-Man 2? Would love to hear in the comment section below. And as always, if you love gaming lists, gaming reviews, gaming discussions, and everything related to Steam Deck, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe so you do not miss another video. My name is Joe Wayne from the Nomadic Gaming Guild, and game on!